Hello, and I'm the Lego Engineer, and as you can see, the RIVIAN R1T is finally driving. So this is 3 months worth of hard work, and yes, it is finally driving. You can see it has full independent suspension, 2 motors for driving, 1 for steering. And there has been a lot of changes since the past update. I said I wanted to make it 4-wheel drive, and I tried so hard to make this 4-wheel drive. It would go out a lot in the back, or it would go a lot out in the front. So there were so much problems I just gave up on it. It wasn't the key feature of the car, so it didn't matter too much. And then the adjustable suspensions, it caused a whole bunch of problems. I tried really hard, but it just turns out it's a lot easier not to do it. And it came out really, really well. So the gear tunnel actually had some changes as well. So at first it was going to be 3 studs wide. Now I changed it to 4 studs wide, and you can see it right over here. And I have these pieces. If I place one here, place this here. Now you can kind of see how the gear tunnel will work. There's that big open space where the kitchen will slide in and out. And it won't be exactly like this, but somewhat, the walls. But this is a little too tall. It'll get in the way of the interior. But this is kind of a rough draft of what it will look like with the 2 walls. And then the kitchen will slide in and out. The gear ratio changed as well. So I have a 24-tooth tan gear going to that, I think it's 16-tooth gear right there. Goes on that axle, goes to that gear, moves to that gear, hits the differential, and controls these wheels. But what's super special is these hubs are planetary wheel hubs. So what that means is when you spin that 5 times, when you spin that 5 times, it spins this once. So it has a mechanical advantage built into it, so it made it easier for me to build all this. And mechanical advantage changed from what I said in my first Rivian video. It's going to be a lot slower, but that is because these motors are low in RPM and torque, so I have to gear them down to be even slower to push all this weight. I tried so many different variations, but this is the only one that could work out for me. That wasn't like super slow, but that wasn't super fast. And then it got like pretty fast, but what's amazing is all this torque is so strong, it can go up pretty steep hills. Let me show you. This is a 20-degree angle that the Rivian will attempt to climb. And the Rivian did it with no problem. And now we're going to raise the degrees to 25. And here we go. So it does a 25-degree angle, except it slits a little bit on the rear wheels. And that's because lack of traction. And the reason is there's little weight because there's no body. It's just the mechanical stuff. I increased the angle by 5. So now it is a 30-degree angle. And I'm not positive it's going to be able to make it because of the lack of traction on the 25 degrees, but let's just see anyways. And it slips, and I don't think it's going to be able to make it. Sometimes it just needs a little time. And now it's kind of interesting because there it goes. And now if you see it turning orange, that means it's having all the stress, but it's not having too much stress. And we're almost there. But let me just show you how it is lack of traction. So I'm actually going to add a water bottle to show that it can do the 30 degrees with just a little bit more weight. And it does it with a lot better traction. And now we're going to increase this to hopefully 35. This is a 35-degree angle with the weight of the water bottle. But we'll just say the water bottle is the weight that the whole body will give it. So yes, let's go. It's barely crawling, and it's able to do it. 35 degrees. Now let's just push it to 40. This is 40 degrees, and it's not gonna make it. And yeah, you can see the wheels just not getting the traction it needs. But still, 35-degree angle is amazing. Who's going to drive this car up a 40-degree angle anyways? It drives well on the concrete and the grass. and almost like has the exact same speed on the grass as it did on the concrete. And that's one of the special things about torque. It stays the same speed no matter how much weight is on it, but it's still gonna be kind of slow. And it even went through that ditch. This is really good off-roading with this Rivian. I made this little obstacle course to test out the skills of the Rivian. So what it's gonna have to do is go over this towel, get the water bottle, and push it under this, and then end up right over here. Let's do this. Here we go. Go over the towel. Does it really well. Push the water bottle under this, and come on. Push it, and there we go. He completed it. It did it really well. It drove really well outside. The only way that it'll make it better is all the way to the body. That'll help push down so it has more traction. And it would be nicer to make this thing less flexible, because especially in the front and the back, they're really flexible. And if it was more rigid, it would be a lot better at driving. And as you saw from outside, it wasn't the fastest car. These motors are limited on speed. Now, what would have been better is using the Bowiz motors, which go 2,000 RPM. And by the way, this is a little sneak preview of my RC car I'm making. It goes like 10 miles an hour. I can't wait to make a video on this. Now, the thing is, if I use the Bowiz motors, if you recall, I wanted to put this on Lego Ideas, and Lego won't produce third-party stuff, so I'm constrained to only use the Lego materials. Now, I've been tweaking the dimensions for a while now, and what I did was I went on the internet, found the size of the real car, scaled it down, and I have this sheet of paper that I wrote. It has the size of the real car and the size of my car, and then it's pretty close. It's not exact, but I need to make sure it's as close as possible to make it look really realistic. Now, the wheelbase of the car is 12 inches. The width of the car is 7 inches. The overall length should be 19 inches. That's what I calculated with my paper. But I couldn't really do that because if it was really big, it would use a lot of pieces. And Lego Ideas says you can only use a maximum amount of 3,000 pieces. So I kind of have to make it a little bit smaller, like 17 inches. But yeah, so 17 inches, and then the height is around 5 inches. Now this hump is the truck bed. What I'm going to do is get one of these panel pieces, place it right over here, and it fits really nicely in there. Probably add another one on each side, and then, add the walls. Now, it might be a little tall, so this might change over time. And yeah, I need to make sure it's proportional, so it's the right height, because if this were really tall, then the actual cabin height was going to have to be even taller. Now, this flat area is going to be the frunk, and I've been measuring and making sure that it would be the right dimensions that I said it would be. And the depth will be about 2 inches. And I might have to push this down one more stud because I don't want it to be too tall, and then the cabin will be super tall, which would be really annoying. So I'm making sure that would be the right size. Now the steering wheel has caused a lot of problems as well. You can see this gear controls the steering. So if I have another gear like over here that has the axle and then the steering wheel over here, the problem is I have to have the right gear connection between here and here. That's caused some problems, but hopefully by the next update, I will have it completed. And actually, I had an idea. Since these monthly updates are so long, and you're probably waiting like every week for them, maybe we could do like once a week or every other week 1-minute updates. Not too long, just a quick update or so. Put in the comment section down below if you would like this. In my past video about the piano playing robot, and if you haven't seen that, go check that corner, I said I was going to do the design process of this. I'm going to showcase it, but that is a big video. I'm going to go really in depth, and that would make this video really long. So I'm going to probably do that next video, because yeah, I really want to go really in depth on the design process. And if you enjoyed this video, please like. If you enjoy this channel, please subscribe, and please share this video. Thank you for watching.